My wife's friend said she should have married my wife, so I drew a line and she chose me. I sat on this for days, wondering if I was being dramatic or if I'd let too much slide. I'm 30 and married a few years to a woman who's kind, funny, and steady. After an ex cheated on me with her best friend, trust was hard, but I did the work. My wife has never given me a reason to doubt her. The problem isn't her, it's her childhood best friend, Claire. We're social and mixed friend groups, and most of her friends welcomed me. Claire did not. She wasn't loud about it. She'd talk around me like I wasn't there, pass me by in conversations, and drop invites that only included my wife. I tried being friendly. I smiled, asked about her work, offered help when she moved, and invited her to birthdays, barbecues, and our engagement dinner. She skipped all of it. She skipped our wedding too. She rarely shows up to group hangouts, but she often asks my wife to come over alone to talk after a breakup. When I brought it up, my wife said Claire was just awkward. Maybe. I told myself to let it go. Then, a few weeks ago, Claire messaged me out of the blue and asked if I'd model for her final photo project. I've done hobby modeling, nothing big. I figured this might be her trying to make peace. I said yes. My wife offered to come, said she hadn't seen Claire in a while, and wanted to catch up after. We went to Claire's house because her family has a photo studio set up there. I thought it would be Claire and a camera. Instead, her mom and sister were in the studio with drinks, like it was a show. From the first minute, I felt off. Her mom called my wife our daughter-in-law. I laughed, thinking I misheard. Then came more comments. There were jokes about the one that got away, and some bonds never fade. Her mom said, we always thought Claire would end up with her, and Claire always imagined walking down the aisle with her. Then she added, it's sweet of him to fill in though. Claire kept shooting and said nothing to stop it. My wife was clearly uncomfortable. She shifted near the lights, touched my shoulder, and tried to change the subject, but she went quiet. I stood there for an hour, posing while the shutter clicked and the lights popped. I felt like a prop in a joke where everyone knew the punchline except me. When we got in the car, my wife stared out the window and finally said, I'm sorry, that was weird, right? I said it was more than weird. It felt disrespectful. She nodded and said she hadn't known what to say. I grew up in a home where you kept the peace by swallowing comments. I freeze sometimes. That night I lay awake, replaying lines and wishing I had spoken up. I was angry at Claire, and I was hurt that my wife hadn't stepped in. I told myself we'd talk soon. I needed to set a boundary and make it clear I'm not a placeholder in my own marriage. Before I could bring it up, my sister-in-law, Madeline, texted me a screen recording. She and I are close, and she's in the wider circle that Claire drifts through. It was from Claire's close friend story. There was no music, just a clip of me posing. In the background, you can hear Claire's sister say, Claire should have been the one to marry her. My hands shook. I waited for my wife to get home, sat her down and played it. She watched it twice. Her face changed. I wondered why that reaction hadn't shown up in the studio. I told her everything. I went through every snide comment and cold shoulder. I said I'd tried to be civil and not force a choice, but I was done being polite to someone who keeps disrespecting me. I said, if this doesn't bother you enough to act, we have a bigger problem. I won't beg to be defended. I need a partner who stands up for me. She didn't argue. She asked what I needed from her now. I told her straight, this isn't just about Claire. It's about us. I won't feel like second place in my own house. It's me or her. I showed her the post I had written about the shoot and the comments. She read until her eyes went glassy. She said she felt ashamed she hadn't stepped in and asked if we could call Claire together. We called. Claire answered cheerful, like nothing happened. We brought up the video. She laughed and said, come on, it was a joke. Are you really mad over that? My chest heated. Before I said something I'd regret, my wife spoke. She said, this isn't about one video. It's the constant disrespect toward my husband. He showed up to support you. You and your family treated him like a joke. I didn't stop it, and I'm ashamed. That ends now. If you can't respect my husband, you don't respect me. Claire actually laughed. She said, wow, you're cutting me off over that guy? I started to speak, but my wife squeezed my hand. She said, if choosing between you and my husband felt hard, I wouldn't deserve him. We're not kids. Grow up. I don't want to be your friend anymore. She ended the call. We blocked Claire and her family on everything. The line went quiet, and the room did too. Now a few friends are saying I forced her to choose. Was I out of line?